Hey, are you okay? Do you mind if I talk to you for a moment? Maybe outside where it's a bit quieter? No, nothing's wrong or anything. I wanted to ask you something, if that's alright. Alright, then. My hand? Excuse us, coming through. Thanks. Alright, the door and. Oh, Claire? Taking someone home? Who's that cute little new friend of yours? Shut up. Just because I'm single doesn't mean. Never mind. It's not worth arguing with you. Come on, let's just go. Even just that is so much quieter. Well, are you really doing okay in there? If I'm overstepping or anything, you can tell me as much and I'll stop pressing the issue, but you just seem like you're not. I noticed you sitting over there all by yourself earlier, before I left. And you were still over there, just the same when I came back. And that's fine, of course. There's no party rule that says you have to be in the center of everything. But you don't look like you're having fun with that. Particularly with the noise. I know that we've only met once or twice. But I never got the impression that parties were your kind of place. May I ask why you came tonight? Friends, huh? Where are these friends? Oh, those two? And I don't know them well or anything, but I do know at least who they are. Though they seem awfully preoccupied, shall we say, with their conversation partners and their drinks. Have they been like that the entire time? I just... Sorry. It's just that sort of thing bothers me a lot. That part's not important right now. Well, would you like me to take you home? I mean, we can arrange for a way to come back to get your car tomorrow. Besides, you shouldn't be... Oh. You're the designated driver, aren't you? Well, I can still tell that you're uncomfortable here, and something tells me that they might not be coming home with you. And even if they do, it won't be anytime soon, if you know what I mean. You're a good friend. Maybe too good a friend. How about this? I'm not actually staying for the party. Parties aren't my thing either. And I was just on my way out when I saw you still over here. I live just across the street, so why don't you come over to my place? My roommate isn't there, so it'll just be the two of us, nice and quiet. But still close enough that you can take your friends home and... if they're ready. How does that sound? Alright, let's go then. Okay. It's a little bit messy, but make yourself at home. As I said, it's just the two of us here for now. Would you like the lights off? Well, the party was too much, right? Too many loud noises, too many bright lights. Just a massive sensory overload. Is that right? I am the same way. I told you parties aren't really my style. But it's because I also end up in the corner just trying to exist without exploding. And you seem the same way. I was almost at my limit. Just for the minutes I was there, so you must be... I couldn't leave you there. But I know it's different for everyone. Some people are okay just being taken out of the stressful situation, but other people, me included, need a low sensory space for a while to recover. For me, a quiet, calm, mostly dark environment works well. So I wanted to ask if you like that too. Alright then, go ahead and make a seat on the sofa. I'll just turn the kitchen light on. It's enough to see, but it'll be pretty dark over here, okay? Can I get you some water while I'm here? Anything? Okay. Alright, here you go. I'll just sit next to you. Is that okay? Okay. Are you doing a little bit better now? Good. Would you like me to hold your hand? Oh, you can say no if it's too weird or uncomfortable. And I can get you a plushie instead if you'd rather that. But personally, I find it helpful when I feel I have something or someone to hold on to keep myself grounded. But it's up to you, of course. Alright, here you go. Close your eyes. Take deep breaths. Squeeze my hand. Drink your water. Whatever you need to do to resettle and calm down, okay? And you don't need to worry about me. We can sit here until you're ready, no matter how long that takes. How are you feeling? A bit better? Even if it's just a little bit, better is all that matters. As I told you, it doesn't matter if it takes a while. What I care about is that you end up feeling okay. Well, as I said earlier, I also don't do well with a bunch of loud music or lots of people. In situations like that, it's not long before it spikes my anxiety and the loud noises are physically painful and everything just overloads my brain and I have trouble thinking. You get the idea. Yeah, exactly. But because I know what it feels like, at least what it's like for me, it means that I obviously couldn't just leave you there like that when it seemed like you were struggling the same way. And before you say anything else, no, it's no real trouble or burden or inconvenience to have you here. I'm just happy to help. And besides, it's nice to have some company, even if it's just sitting here in silence. You're very welcome. Oh, you should probably text your friends to let them know you left so they aren't worrying. Sure, ask away. That's a good question. The people who live there throw parties quite frequently, and even though I've never enjoyed being a part of those for aforementioned reasons, we've been good friends for years. they still want to include me, which I'm thankful for. So sometimes I'll be the one to go and pick up the pizza for anything else they happen to have forgotten. It also lets them be home and set up so they can enjoy more of the party, and it means they can drink since they won't have to drive. Well, do you know the small pizza place on 3rd Street, down by Sierra Avenue? Castellana Pizza? They make those absolutely massive pizzas. They're difficult to fit in the car, but that's fun. It's easier than ordering a bunch of small, normal, large pizzas. Plus, it's a good pizza. But they don't offer delivery, so I went and picked it up. And for my troubles, I get to bring home some of the pizza. And a few drinks to enjoy in the quiet of my own place. I guess I am also the designated driver. In my case. It's weird for the people who don't have to drive, and from the party, you know, they live there. It's a bit weird when you put it that way. I get to be a part of the party in my own way, and also help out my friends. And also be the party's heroine. The girl who brings the pizza, so the other guests don't usually bother me about leaving. Almost immediately. And it's really nice, yeah. Of course, it might also be nice if I could enjoy the party like the other guests, and sometimes it isn't quite as bad, and I'll stay for a bit. But I really appreciate my friends being understanding and accommodating of the whole thing. I don't really mind them throwing the parties, to be honest. Nor wish they would stop. They enjoy them, and I wouldn't want to get in their way of that. If I never got to see them because it was their only free time, then maybe I'd feel like we should come to some compromise about it. But as it is, we still get to hang out enough that I have no reason to complain. Does this sort of thing happen often between you and your friends? Well, that's good. At least, but I mean more generally. Obviously, relationships will always have their give and take, and I don't want to read too far into the situation since I don't know you or your friends very well, but it doesn't strike me as particularly fair to invite you to a party to help them as you're the designated driver and then abandoning you to the corner and not even checking in to make sure you're doing okay. I think that's admirable in some sense. That you don't want to get in the way of your friends having fun and willing to accommodate and enable that. But you deserve to have fun too, right? If nothing else, you deserve not to be left alone and uncomfortable at a loud party. The way I see it, if they invite you, they generally take on a responsibility to make sure you're okay. Especially if they know it's not somewhere that you're comfortable. Though, I hope I wasn't the first person to come to you. Oh, was he coming to check up on you, or? Well, that's something at least. I'll talk to my friends about the situation, though. No, it's really not a big deal. Besides, if it happened with you tonight, it's probably happened and it will probably happen with the other guests. So it'd be good to be aware of it so it can get noticed and then avoided. Even without the sensory overload component, sitting alone in a corner at a party because the person is new and are shy and are otherwise uncomfortable with joining in, but they usually don't want to be excluded. So that alone is something I want to watch out for. I mean, I'd like to think that you're glad I came over and gave you a weight on the situation, right? And as I said, you're very welcome. Actually, if you want, you'd be welcome to come over again. Assuming I'm free, of course. No, I usually am in the evenings. If your friends want to come to one of these parties, you let me know. We make sure it works out for that night. Then you can drop your friends off and come here. and we can have such a quiet evening together. Does that sound good? Sure, I get that. But as I said, you're not really intruding. Besides, it'd be two friends hanging out. Is that really so strange? Fine. Two acquaintances hanging out and becoming friends. Better? In all honesty, though I know our circles have never overlapped too much before, but when we briefly crossed paths, you seem like an interesting person, and I think it'd be nice to get to know you and spend some time together. And if it helps you and your friends to avoid the party, then all the better, you know? Why, thank you. Here, if you give me your phone for a moment, I can put my number in for you. Alright. I told you there was a chance that might happen. They did seem pretty engaged in their conversation. I guess we'll have to see what your other friend does then. Alright. Thanks, and here you go. And this must be you, Alright. I'll go ahead and add you to my contacts list. Actually, sorry, I'm kind of bad with names, but I'm also not sure if I ever got your last name when we were first introduced. Either way, do you mind telling me? Alright, that's all set then. Well, what do you want to do now while we're waiting for your other friend to message you? We could continue sitting here and chatting, or find a show or movie to watch, or a game to play. I have a few board games, card games, and video game options. Or if you're a bit burned out on the socialism front tonight, we can just sit here in silence and play on our phones or something. All of those options are fine with me, so pick whichever one you want. Or if you have other ideas, feel free to throw those out as well. Yeah, of course. If you need a few minutes first, that is totally fine. I get it. I actually need to use the restroom first anyway, so we'll go ahead and do that. And that will give you a few moments out here by yourself. Then we can go from there. Does that sound good? Alright. Then I'll be back. Alright, I think I'll take these plushies too. Well, I mentioned it earlier, but I thought that holding a plushie might be nice. So while he was up, I figured I would grab a few and bring them out here for us. I have a few other in my room, if none of these catch your eye. But the ones I brought out are here. This teddy bear named Honey, which I've had since I was very little. This little pink fox named Kit. And this bunny named Potato. I've had her a long time too. And it was actually my little brother who named it. And I think he was probably 4 at the time. It is cute, isn't it? My mother found it and got it for me while his dad was at school. I guess he came up with the name before she could give it to me. When I got home from school, I don't remember if he used to mix up the names for carrots and potatoes when he was little, or if he just thought it was funny. But either way, the little bunny's name is Potato. But do you want to hold on to one of these while we're watching? Oh, good choice. I'll hold on to this one, and the third one can sit between us. How about that? Alright, do you have any specific ideas for something, or anything you want to watch? Or broader categories for the things you want to do or not? I have a couple streaming services, so we should have plenty of options. That's fine. I can just scroll through one of them, and if something catches your eye, let me know, okay? This one? Sure, that works for me. I've never seen it, but I've heard really good things about it. Do you need anything before I start it? Alright.